Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miss back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another CDL video. We're going to be reviewing CDL Major 2 Week 3, and what a crazy and weird weekend it was. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll hop into it. So, here's an updated look at what the standings currently look like, of course. Optic Texas up at the top with 145 points. Atlanta FaZe with 130 points. London Royal Ravens with 120 points. Boston Breach with 80 points. LA Thieves and Toronto Ultra with 60 points. The Los Angeles Guerrillas, Seattle Surge, and Minnesota Rocker with 50 points. And then the Florida Mutineers and New York Subliners with 40 points. And the Paris Legion with 20 points. Of course, both of those bottom teams did beat Toronto this weekend, which isn't ideal for me, because if they had have won, they would be tied with the Breach at 80 points, although I think they would ultimately be behind the Breach because less series wins. Nonetheless, yeah, we got some games, so let's talk about it. Very, very intriguing to see that still, to this day, if Texas won those two round 11s, the first, I think it was 2 weeks of the year, Optic would be 14-0 right now. And currently, I mean, looking at the schedule for the upcoming major, most people are probably expecting Optic to beat the Surge. And if that's the case, then they will be tying the Atlanta FaZe of last year, I believe, with a 13-series win streak. And likelihood is, if they are going to beat that record, it will be against the Atlanta FaZe, which will be a really fun story heading into that night, which will be really, really cool. Of course, I'm not going to be doing my predictions in today's video, but we'll talk about my predictions here in a moment. So here's a look at the event up ahead. So in winners, we have Texas versus Seattle in round 1, alongside New York versus Atlanta, London versus Florida, and Boston versus the LA Guerrillas. I feel like there's a pretty clear winner in each of these series. I really don't think it's going to be that close. I mean, there's of course the chance of an upset, but really, I don't see it. I really don't. I mean, who knows with Seattle, and honestly, who knows with New York? They've only played really poor teams or teams that are really struggling right now, like recently. So who knows what they're going to be looking like. I mean, the Mutineers started off this major very hot, but then they started playing better teams. So I don't think they're going to be doing too much against the Ravens. And then the Breach, I don't think is a question mark. Where the Guerrillas is a question mark. So who knows, right? We shall see. Then we go down to losers, and man, there are some surprising teams in the losers. We have the Minnesota Rocker, which ultimately isn't that surprising. Then we have the 12th seed 0-5 Los Angeles Thieves. Then we have the Paris Legion and the 11th seed 1-4 Toronto Ultra. So the Thieves, I believe, are now on a 6 losing streak right now. It's 6 or 7. Let me confirm that. We might as well confirm that. Let's go back to the Optic Texas Major. Let's see. So, the LA Thieves lost to Atlanta. Yeah, so they are on a 6-series losing streak, and the Toronto Ultra are on a 4-series losing streak, which is not good. Of course, Paris and New York were able to beat Toronto this weekend. Of course, Bance was playing with COVID, and he was at home. So who knows what's going on with them still. I mean, I'm not trying to chalk it up to excuses, but genuinely, from what the players have mentioned on Twitter and online, there's only been 2 weekends where someone on Toronto has not played sick. So, you know, and I believe they've only won 4 or 5 coin flips. I'd seen that earlier this week, or this past weekend, I guess. I'd seen that as well. They've only won like 4 or 5 coin flips the whole season, so that's terrible. Some really, really bad luck for Toronto right now. Then you move on to a team like the LA Guerrillas. Today, they announced that, unfortunately, Pierce or Gunless is not going to be playing at the major for some non-COVID related issues, so hopefully he's okay, and hopefully he'll be able to get back and well soon, so I believe it is Spark filling in for him. I'm intrigued to see how that change goes for the Gorillas. I don't know if that favors them or not. I mean, Spark's been a very good player on Challenger, so we shall see. Then you take a look at FaZe. Of course, Simp didn't play this weekend because he was sick, and Pristini filled in for Simp. So I'm intrigued to see. I'm guessing Simp will be back for the major, but only time will tell. I don't think there's going to be any roster moves really heading into the major, but we'll see what happens. So starting off the weekend, Thursday, we have Florida versus London. Then we have LA versus Boston. We have Atlanta versus New York. We have Seattle versus Optic, which is a pretty fun series, or some pretty fun series there, of course, the winners. And then losers Friday, we have a very stacked day. We have Paris versus whoever loses between Florida and London, I think. I had seen that earlier. I think it's on the bracket here. 1 second. Yeah, let me take a look at the bracket because I think it shows. Never mind. I did see it somewhere, but nonetheless, Paris will play the loser of, I think it's Florida-London. Toronto will play the loser of LAG-Boston. I do know that one for sure. Thieves will play the loser of Atlanta-New York, I think. And Minnesota will play the loser of Seattle versus Optic. And then it is these two teams. So whoever wins these two series will play in the final match of Friday. And of course, I mean, who knows how the rest of the weekend pans out? We shall see. I'm gonna be able to watch every match this weekend, which I'm happy about. I'll miss the Atlanta, New York, and the Seattle Optic one because I'll be at work, unfortunately. But I'll get to watch those first two. But apart from those two series, which are honestly, I mean, the more important ones out of the four there, at least. Yeah, I'll be able to watch every series this weekend. So I'm transitioning from 2 jobs to 1 job, which I'm very happy about. Nonetheless, let's take a look at my predictions. I actually did very, very well this weekend, and I don't think anyone was guessing Paris beating Toronto, Seattle beating LA, and New York beating Toronto. So I did really well, all things considered. I thought I had a terrible weekend, but I did well. And I got 3 points for a lot of the series as well. So 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. So, you know, I had done very well with predictions this weekend. I mean, I did 3-1 right between the Thieves and Surge, but I just got it wrong. I mean, I got 3-1 right between New York and Toronto. I just got it wrong. And yeah, I mean, still, I'm still blown away that Paris and New York beat Toronto. I mean, Paris, I think, is still the worst team in the league. New York is definitely in contention to move up. I don't think they're the worst team. I don't think they're the second worst team in the league. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue that the Thieves aren't the worst team in the league right now because they're heading into the major, the 12th seed, 0-5 on a 6 losing streak. So, I mean, who knows, right? It's kind of hard to wager things out right now. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm intrigued to see how this weekend goes. We shall see, of course. We get another major tournament I'm very, very excited for, so we'll see how it goes. So thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know your predictions for the major this weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.